Oftentimes we're working on a book or a project, we want everybody to experience it. We want everybody to be able to enjoy it to the point where oftentimes we'll say, this is for everybody. However, it's not for everybody. If you're focusing on everybody, then you're focused on nobody. So when I was working on this book, I had one person in mind. I had one ideal reader. And at first it was my daughter. But then I thought about it. The ideal reader would have to have went through some type of ordeal already. They would have had to have overcome some type of adversity. One of my good friends came to me, a friend that I've known for over 15 years. And he asked me some questions about, you know what, sir, I want to know more about my superpower. I said, well, how do you not know about your superpower? We talk about this stuff all the time. But the fact that he was unaware and still being so close to me in my core community, it made me think about how many other people that I speak to on a regular basis that may not be able to understand the full extent of their power, the full extent of their strength. And that's what really made me focus in on that one individual. So throughout the entire duration of the book as we were writing, that's who I had in mind. Answer their questions: how does it develop? Where does it come from? How do I harness it? How do I protect it? And how do I apply it to what I want to apply it to? I didn't have it on this person, it was one specific person, because I knew if I could help that individual to overcome that adversity and be able to find their superpower, then we had solved the problem. I did realize also that the book was still a book that my daughter could read at a certain point in time in her life. Being able to understand where her true strength comes from, how to protect and harness it were some of the same ingredients that she would use later in life. So I'm looking forward to that day when she does. If you're working on a book, I want you to think about who is that target person. Give them a name that can be male or female. One that I always use is Tony, so we can spell it T-O-N-Y, T-O-N-I. Where do they reside? What are some of the problems that they overcome, that they are facing? What are some of the key stressors? What are some of the questions that they may have? And you may even want to ask your audience, ask your community, ask people that you are writing or creating this project for that you think they will gravitate to. What are some of the pain points? What are some of the issues? Because even as I was going through the book, I was able to reach out to some of my clients, including this particular person that I had a bullseye on, to ask them more questions, to dive in, read it, and then give me their feedback. When I first wrote the book, I didn't write an ending. It wasn't what I was focused on. I really didn't even care about the end of the book. And I know that sounds silly, because how do you create a book without focusing on the ending? Well, for one, I know that I was actually living out the work that I was doing. And I know that it was still a work in progress. And what I really wanted was the editor to challenge me. I wanted the editor to scrutinize what had already been written. And I wanted to see what their feedback was, to see the full picture. I knew that after we went into the editing, there would be some things in the book that weren't answered. There were going to be some things that need to be trimmed back, some things that need to be expanded on. And I ultimately knew that that would impact the ending. So I took my time. I did not write the ending in the first draft. And I actually didn't finalize it until the final draft. With each draft that we did, the ending became more and more clear. And we also needed that ending in order to get the title of the book. So a lot of things had to wait on other things to be completed. I could have put an ending in there, but I wanted to make sure that it was solid and that after all of the editing that we were still able to convey that end message to the user.